He gave up his shelter to help a lost old woman. What she did next changed everything. The wind had turned sharp that evening, the kind that slips down your collar even with your coat buttoned tight. Along the edge of a small town, where the trees had shed their last leaves and the streetlights flickered like tired eyes, an old woman stood forgotten at a cracked bus stop. She wore a wool coat from another decade, her silver hair trembling in the cold. Clutching a worn leather purse, she looked at every passing car with fading hope. Her lips moved softly. Route 12, Willow Lane, or was it Garden Street? Words like dry leaves in the wind, tossed and confused. People walked past. Some glanced. None stopped. Until Andre did. He was just 18, a delivery boy scraping by on the memory of a mother he'd lost too soon, riding her rusted old bicycle to survive. His shoes were split at the seams, his jacket threadbare. One more delivery, and he'd have rent for the week. Miss it, and he'd be on the street. But something in the woman's eyes, clouded, uncertain, kind, made him pause. She looked more like a question than a person. Lost, not just in place, but in time. He walked over. Ma'am, are you all right? She blinked slowly. I think I missed the bus, or maybe it missed me. Andre asked gently where she lived. She searched her purse with shaking hands, producing a lipstick without a cap, a coin, a bus pass from 2 days ago. Then he saw it, a delicate silver pendant around her neck. On the back, a name, Evelyn Rose, and an address. 48 Oak Hill Drive. That Andre's stomach dropped. Oak Hill was miles away, mostly uphill, 2 hours by bike, and the clock was ticking. His final delivery window would close soon. If he didn't make it, the landlord would change the lock. He'd sleep outside tonight. But he looked at Evelyn again, small, shivering, trusting him simply because he asked. And suddenly, the numbers didn't matter. I think we can make it, he said, tying his spare scarf around the back seat and wrapping his own jacket around her shoulders. Hold on tight. She chuckled. You remind me of my grandson. His shoes were always scuffed, too. Andre said nothing, just pedaled. The sun faded. The town disappeared behind them. The cold deepened. Evelyn hummed softly, asking now and then where they were. He answered each time like it was the first. They stopped only once for tea at a gas station. With his last dollar, she made him drink first. You need it more. When they reached the gate of 48, Oak Hill Drive, it was nearly 9:30 p.m. An elderly man opened the door. His face broke into tears. Miss Evelyn? My God, we've been searching everywhere. Andre declined the ride back. Just wanted to make sure she got home safe. He scribbled his number on a crumpled receipt, in case she ever needs help again, then rode off into the cold night, never knowing that his bed would be gone, his key useless, and his belongings dumped in a plastic bag outside the locked door of his room. He wandered back through frozen streets. Nowhere to go, numb from the ride. Eventually, he knocked on the back door of Mr. Johnson's Market, a corner store where kindness still existed in quiet corners. The old shopkeeper opened the door. One look was all he needed. Didn't make rent, huh? He muttered, then stepped aside. There's a cot in the storeroom. Just don't freeze to death. That night, Andre slept surrounded by cardboard boxes and old citrus crates. But for the first time in weeks, he didn't feel alone. He slept thinking of Evelyn's hand on his shoulder, her quiet laugh, and the moment she said, "You remind me of someone I love." The next morning, as Andre helped sweep the shop, a black car pulled up. Polished, silent, out of place that a tall man stepped out, holding a note. Inside the shop, he spoke softly. Miss Evelyn Rose sent me. She remembers everything. and she insists on thanking you in person. Andre hesitated. I didn't do it to get anything. I just wanted her safe. And that, the man replied, is exactly why she wants to see you. The mansion didn't seem as large in daylight. Just old, quiet, waiting that I in a sun-filled study. Evelyn Rose sat wrapped in a shawl, her eyes now clear. Her hands reached for Andre's like she had known him all her life. You brought me home, she whispered. You didn't treat me like a burden. You made me feel safe. I don't know your story, but I'd like to. She offered him a room, a place to rest. Not for a night. For as long as he needed, he resisted at first. I can't accept that. I didn't do anything special. But Evelyn shook her head. And that, she said, is why you deserve it. Andre returned to the market that night, but something had shifted. He had been seen, not for what he lacked, but for what he carried. The next day, Evelyn came to him herself. No driver, no formality, just a quiet offer, written in trembling script, but a room at the estate. A modest stipend, a promise, we'll help you return to school, if that's what you want. He read it, looked up. I'd like that, he said. Weeks later, Andre settled into a rhythm he had never known, warmth, stability, belonging. With Evelyn's help, he returned to school. They formed a quiet bond. Morning walks, long talks, dreams shared between generations. Together, they built something new, the Willow Light Fund, named for the street Evelyn couldn't remember that night, but never forgot. Its mission, to help the young who had no path, to shelter the elderly who had slipped through the cracks, to remind the world that dignity should never be earned. It should be assumed. And sometimes, when Andre rode his mother's old bicycle past the bus stop where it all began, he slowed down just a little, looked up, and smiled. Because home doesn't always have an address. Sometimes it begins with a question that a whisper to a hand held out in the cold. Sparkles like. Subscribe. Share.